ratio and proportion. Okay, what does ratio means? Ratio basically means sharing in a particular manner. Okay, say for example, you have 30 of something and it has to be given or shared between two people. Okay, it has to be shared between two people. Instinctively we think in terms of percentage ki okay, both of them will get 50%. But not necessary, na? One person may get more than the other. What ratio tells us is in what way that sharing should take place. So if we say 50%, it means 15:15. Both of them get 15:15. Or we may decide, okay, one person should get 18, the other should get 12. One person should get, say, 10, the other should get 20. So again, just like in fractions, when we write these ratios, we should write it in the simplest form. So which means what? 1:1. Right? If one person gets 1, the other person should get 1. Which means what? It doesn't matter how many are there. They both should get equally. Now similarly here, what will be the ratio? 3, 6 are 18, 3 4s are 12. So this will change to 3 6 are 3 4s are 3 2 are, sorry, 2 3s are 2 2s are. So 3:2 ratio. We say 1:1 ratio, 3:2 ratio. This symbol stands for is to 1:1. Similarly, 1:2. Okay, generally speaking, when we talk of ratios, we don't show it in higher form, but in the simplest form possible. So here what has happened is, in this question, I have made it in such a way that it will also give it in higher forms, because I want to give you some practice also for other operations. And it is asking what will be the ratio of out of 30. So if the number of something is 30 and the ratio in which it has to be shared is 4:2, then how much will each person get? So how do you decide that? What you do is, given this ratio, add it up. So 6. So totally there are 6, out of which 4 should go to one person and 2 should go to another person. And we have already done scaling. So one person should get 4 out of 6, the other person should get 2 out of 6. And scale it up to 30, because that is what the question says. Out of 30, how much? Yes, 6 5s are 6 5s are. So 5 4s are 20, 5 2s are 10. So 20:10. So one person gets 20, the other gets 10. 2:4. Now here 2:4 becomes what? Again 6 one person gets 2 out of 6, the other person gets 4 out of 6, but we have to scale it to 6. So what happens? Your ratio doesn't change. So one person gets 4, 2, other person gets 4. 3:2, and we want it out of 25. So here 3 plus 2, 5 are there, 5 of something is there, one gets 3 and the other gets 2 of the remaining. Remember, if you add these two ratios, you should get 1, right? 2 by 6 plus 4 by 6 is 6 by 6, 6, 6, 1. Okay, if it doesn't come, that means you have made some mistake here. So into out of 25, so 5 5s, 5 5s, so which means 5 is a 15, 5 is a 10. So one person gets 15, the other person gets 10. So what we learned above is called ratio. Okay, then we have something called as proportion. Now in case of proportion, we do comparison of equal ratios. So for example, 3:2 as to, right, as to 6:4. So here this symbol stands for is to, as to. So as to basically means in comparison to. And here the question says 3:2 as to 9:to what? Basically A I have written, that means we have to find A. And there are different ways in which you can do this. Decide what did you do, or what did you multiply 3 with to get 9. We multiplied it with 3. Yes, do the same with 2. So what happens? 3 2s are 6. So A is 6. Now if you simplify 9:6, you should get 3:2. Okay, that is one way where you, by looking at it itself, you are able to find the answer. The other way is, remember, this ratio can be written as 3/2 also. And 9:A can be written as 9/A. Now we want to bring the A here. So what do? So we have to make this disappear from here and appear here. Multiply by A. So they will get cut. They get cancelled. But then what happens? This equality doesn't remain. So we have to multiply on this side by A also. So whatever you do on one side, you have to do on the other side also. So AA gets cut off. Now 3/2, we want it on the other side. But first we have to make it disappear from this side. So 3/2, remember reciprocal. So multiply it by its reciprocal. And do the same thing on this side also, because you don't want to change the numbers. So 2/3. So now what happens? This got cut off, all cancelled. So A is equal to what? 3. 3 is 3 into 2, 6. sometimes it's not very easy to figure out, with what we have to do to get the other ratio. So in that case you can, and in many places, especially in tests, they expect you to follow these steps because each of these steps may involve some marks. Another way of doing is extremes. Take extremes and the outer extreme and the inner numbers, right? So 3 into a is equal to, 3 into a is equal to 9 or 2 into 9. Now make it disappear here 3 and do the same thing on this side. So 3 disappears. So a is equal to what? 3 3s are 9, 3 2s are 6. You get the same answer. Let's do another one. Okay, let's do it with a slightly bigger number. Oh, there is 1 second. Let's say not 2, let's say 10 to 50, let's say. Okay, now let's go here. Say 20 is to a is equal to, sorry, not is equal to, as to 20 is to a as to 80 is to 152, right? Multiply these two and make it equal to multiplication of these two, right? So in between equal to is there, so whichever we can do first. So 80 into a is equal to 152 into 20. Make it disappear from here so that it appears here. See, whatever you do on one side of a equal to sign, the same thing you have to do with the other side. So now 2 4s are 4, 3s are 12, 4 8s are 32. So a is equal to 38. Let's do it the other way around. 20 by a is equal to 80 by 152 into a divide by 80 divide by 80. Yes, so what are we left with? 20 by 80 is equal to a by 152. Okay, into 152 into 152. So 150 by 20 by 80. Yes, it has come the same. So the answer is 38. Or 20 into 4 is 80. Now here the a into 4 is equal to 152, isn't it? So if we say 20 into 4 is equal to 80, so a into 4 is equal to 152. So a is equal to what? 152 by 4. 4 3s are 12, 4 8s are 32. So whichever method you feel comfortable with, you can do that. So that is ratio and proportion. Bye for